each and every one of you to our November council meeting. We had a good day. We had a long day. We took care of some committee meetings, and the Head Start was gracious enough to serve us a lunch that held us over for about 3 hours. Then we ate again. But we've had a long day. I'd like to welcome you to the November council meeting. Okay, having said that, let's stand. And Deputy, as a veteran, and we appreciate all that the veterans have do. Would you, Joe Crittenden, Secretary, would you please bless this meeting?
I will, Speaker. I appreciate it. Thank you. Let's go to our Lord. Father, I want to thank you for this day you blessed us all with, health and strength, the good jobs we have, the people we get to serve, and the people we get to work with. I'd ask, Father, as you be with us in the meeting this evening, that everything be done in your will, and good things happen here this evening. Be with our leaders, those that are charged with directing, the way we go as a tribe. Help them to look to you, Father, for guidance, because sometimes it's difficult to make the right decisions. Go with us through this meeting. Help everything be done in your honor. And Father, for those that are standing in harm's way, I would ask your blessings on them tonight. The first responders, the law enforcement, the EMTs, all of them that run to the disaster to help our people. For the veterans that are gathered here this evening, we thank you for them and thank you for their service. Thank you for watching over them. And thank you for their families, Father. Continue to bless us and forgive us where we failed you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Secretary. At this time, we will do roll call. Shelley?
Yes, sir. Keith Austin.
Here.
Harley Buzzard.
Here.
Joe Byrd.
Ani?
Julia Coates. Here. Sean Crittenden. Joe Deere. Mike Dobbins. Here. Kanan Duncan.
Ani.
Rex Jordan.
Here.
Daryl Legg.
Here.
Wes Snowfire.
Ani.
Laura Petskowski.
Here.
Mike Shambaugh.
Here.
Mary Bakershaw.
Ani.
E.O. Smith. Janice Taylor.
Here.
Victoria Vasquez.
Ani.
We have a quorum.
This time, someone needs to take care of their kid. Just kidding. At this time, I'd entertain approval of the minutes.
Make a motion.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, the ayes have it. Now we drop down to our State of the Nation from our Principal Chief, Chuck Hoskins, Jr.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. An honor again to appear before the Council of the Cherokee Nation. Just recapping the month. Last week, we honored our veterans at Veterans Day. We announced plans for the future Cherokee Nation Veterans Cemetery, of course, a project that this council has worked on dating back to the last term. We will select a site and we will break ground on the cemetery in 2020. I'd like to thank all the staff who participated in the Veterans Day parade and celebration in Tahlequah this past weekend. Since our last gathering, we rolled out the Career Readiness Act, and I appreciate the council's support on that. It will double the nation's investment in workforce readiness from $1 million to $2 million. That's on top, of course, Mr. Speaker, of the federal dollars that we bring to bear for that type of training. Later this week, it will indeed be an historic day for the Cherokee Nation, as we will have the grand opening of the new health center at the W.W. Hastings campus. This is the joint venture project, the largest of its kind in the country, largest outpatient facility for Native Americans. It will eventually mean 850 new healthcare jobs and reduction in patient wait times, more effective delivery of services, great opportunity for healthcare for Cherokee Nation, and I think a real model for all of Indian country. This weekend, we look forward to heading to Arizona to visit with our at-large citizens, and I know there's a number of community meetings going on, and I'm looking forward to attending the community meeting in Adair County on Thursday, and I appreciate the council members' invitation to that meeting. We have, as you noted, members of the Youth Council here. Mr. Speaker, if you'd like, we can go ahead and proceed with that, if you'd like to do that. All right. All right. So we have the youth counselors here tonight to introduce themselves. They, of course, dedicate a great deal of time on top of all of the other things that they're doing in their lives. They dedicate that time to learn about leadership, to learn about issues, and to hopefully be future leaders in our government or just future leaders anywhere in our community, business, commerce, any way that they can help. I know that they are getting a preparation to do so. So we appreciate these young leaders. I'd ask them to come forward and introduce themselves.
Siona God, Morgan Dawadoa, Talt Scott Talt, Yawade Tiad, Chelsea Janela, Ken Ale Anna, Digaki Gayelage, Jalagi Ayethli, Diniothli, Undalthka Gale, Jichalagi, Wado. Hi, my name is Morgan McSpadden. I am 22 years old. I'm a senior at Rogers State University. I'm from Chelsea, Oklahoma. This is my 4th year on the Tribal Youth Council, and I'm from District 14. Thank you.
Siona God, Aiden Dawado, Neladu Yawade Tiud, Owasso Jinel, Jalagi Ayethli, Diniotli Undaka Gale, Jijalagi. Hi, I'm Aiden Harbaugh. I'm 18 years old from Owasso, Oklahoma, and I'm from District 14.
Oceana God, Abby Dagwadoa, Tatsko Yawadetiid, Wellington, Kansas, Ginela. Hello everyone, my name is Abby Lowe. I am 20 years old and I am from Wellington, Kansas.
Osioni Gada, Medley Dawadoa, Aya Soneladu, Ayawadetiada, Dali Kwagei, Aya Taladu, Dichinido, Sukhoi Galanadi. Hello everyone, my name is Shelby Turtle. I'm 19 years old and I'm from Tahlequah, Oklahoma, and I represent District 3. I'm a senior at Sequoia High School and this is my 5th year on the Cherokee Nation Tribal Youth Council. Wado.
Sioni God, Madison Dawado, Deladu Yawadetiel, Muldrow Janelle, Mark Alesheli, Digagige Yelige, Jalagi Ayetli, Diniotli, Undak Gel, G Jalagi, Wado. My name is Madison Walters. I'm a junior at Muldrow High School. My parents are Mark and Shelley Walters. This is my 1st year on the Youth Council, and I'm from Muldrow, Oklahoma. Thank you.
Siona God, literally Dawdon, Naladu, Yawadetiada, Slungaya, Chinela, Anaweg, Agielige, Jalagi, Ayetli, Dinihotli, Undalka Gali, Chijalagi, Wado. Hello everyone, my name is Lauren McCoy. I'm 18 years old and I'm from District 4. I'm the daughter of Betty Jo McCoy and a senior at Muldrow High School, and this is my 1st year on the Youth Council. Wado.
Siona God, Wedi Bird Dawadon, Doladu Yawadetiad, Naka Jinel, Deborah Bird, Sorry. Hello, everyone. My name is Wady Bird. I'm a junior at Muldrow High School, and I am currently living in Naka. Amen.
Siona God, Wanis Tawadoma, Siva Jinela, Naladu Yawade Tied, Enesu de Guadalis Kwaski, Gali Heli Gahan Jagadam, Wado. Hello everybody, my name is Sydney Forkiller. My Cherokee name means talks a lot. I am from Stillwell, Oklahoma. I'm 18 years old. I attend NSU. I'm a freshman there, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Siona God. Hello, everybody. My name is Tegan Forkiller. I'm a junior at Stillwell High School. I'm currently living in Stillwell as well, and I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Chelsea Gatewood. I'm a junior at Welch High School and I also live there and I represent District 11.
All right, Mr. Speaker, how about one more round of applause for these bright young Cherokees? And now, Mr. Speaker, as we do each time, this time each month, we remember those that we lost in this past month. So I'll read the list and welcome additional names. Tom Carson of Stillwell, Billy Sue Hathcote of Tahlequah, she was a former employee of the Cherokee Nation. Ed Jumper of Tahlequah, a fluent Cherokee speaker. Tommy Bird, brother, of course, of Speaker Bird of Muldrow, also a fluent Cherokee speaker. Sequoia Martin of Tahlequah. Patrick Wolf of Tulsa, Ronald Lewis of Sallisaw, James Williams of Miami, Dakota McBride of Muskogee, Bobby Vaughn of Tahlequah, Linda Jumper of Pryor, Donna Lane of Pryor, Joseph Reese of Siloam Springs, Alvin Bird of Sallisaw, David Lackey of Sallisaw, Billy Sevenstar of Sallisaw, Tina Venita of Nowata, Marion Jumper of Tahlequah, Buddy Tennyson of Tahlequah, Fred Craig of Stillwell, Edna Wilborn of Muskogee, Inola Grimmett of Stillwell, Lance Turn of Westville, Gary Reese of Enid, Hank Case of Miami, Jason Patterson of Chelsea, Ronnie Cochran of Jay, Patricia Pritchett of Tahlequah, Ella Milstead of Tahlequah, Tommy Gann of Tahlequah, Dora Miller of Grove, Sandra Wright of Grove, Marla Jones of Tahlequah, Naloni Thomason of Veneta, Barbara Pettit of Sallisaw, Ricky Hamilton of Sallisaw, Troy Giles of Tahlequah, and of course we remember our friend and former chief of the Choctaw Nation, Greg Pyle. We want to recognize his longtime leadership to his nation and among the 5 tribes in the state. David Cookson of Keys, a former employee of Cherokee Nation. And Mr. Speaker, are there any additions?
Yes, I have a Nora Stevens of Miami and a Steve Buzzard, a cousin of mine from Uchi.
Okay.
Thank you.
Judith Anderson of Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Okay.
Mr. Joe Bigford of Claremore and Miss Carolyn LaVon Jones of Collinsville.
Donald Fixon, Stillwell.
Diane Summerfield, John Brantley, Wanda Bond, and Reverend Larry Pritchett from Jay.
Jim Catron, Martha Salinas, Ronald Ryder, and Lucinda Duncan Duck, who was Cherokee speaker, and also the aforementioned Inola Grimmett was also a Cherokee speaker.
Okay. All right. Well,
Sam McElhaney from Vian.
Okay. All right, Mr. Speaker, if you'd join me in a moment of silence for those that we lost. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Widow.
Thank you, Chief. I want the Youth Council to observe the how we do the Veterans Awards. So Deputy, you and Secretary Veterans Affairs, Joe Crittenden, you're going to do the honors?
Honorable Council, I humbly come before you today with 4 Cherokees, Cherokee Warriors, that is, for our Medal of Patriotism Award. And tonight we're going to start with a man from the Vietnam War era. Let's all welcome Mr. James Beavers. This is, if I could have the boys from Adair County, Mr. Kanan Duncan and Mr. Sean Crittenden, to join us. Mr. Beavers joined the Army in 1968. After training, he became a radio communications technician. Mr. Beavers was transferred to An Highlands, Central Highlands, Vietnam, where he was responsible for the maintenance of aircrafts and kept them loaded up. Mr. Beavers' next assignment was to Ha, Vietnam, where his company helped defend the Mobile Command Communication site. After a year tour of duty in Vietnam, Mr. Beavers returned stateside to Fort Sam Houston, Texas to work at a radio receiver site, finishing his service in New Jersey with an honorable discharge E5 sergeant. Decorations, medals, ribbons, and badges include Republic of Vietnam Campaign Medal with 60 device, Vietnam Service Medal with 4 Bronze Service Stars, National Defense Service Medal, Good Conduct Medal, Expert Rifle M14 badge, and Expert Rifle M16 badge. Mr. Beavers, on behalf of a grateful nation, thank you for this service to our country.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right.
Is there anyone here with you this evening, sir? Would you like to say anything? No. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right.
We'll go ahead and get you two fellas from Adair County to stay with us here. Ladies and gentlemen, our next Cherokee Medal of Patriotism Award goes to an individual from Operation Iraqi Freedom veteran, Mr. Jacob McGaw. Jacob entered the Army in 2011 and was sent to Fort Benning, Georgia, then on to Brumholder, Germany with the 3rd Battalion, 4th Infantry Regiment. After 11 months, he was sent back to the States to Fort Hood, Texas. Jacob spent the rest of his military time in Texas and Louisiana, where he became a gunner for an M2A3 Bradley. He was also the team leader for the tank section. He was honorably discharged as a Specialist E4. Decorations, medals, ribbons, and badge include Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Army Achievement Medal 3rd Award, Army Good Conduct Medal, National Defense Service Medal, and Army Service Ribbon. Mr. McGaw, on behalf of a grateful nation, we thank you for your service to our country.
Chief, Deputy, these are real Cherokees. They don't want to get their photo taken or they don't want to say anything.
That's right. That's right. If I could get our at-large council ladies to come down, please. Our next Cherokee Warrior Medal of Patriotism Award goes to a Vietnam War veteran, Jimmy Reese. Mr. Reese enlisted in the Marine Corps in 1969 and was sent to Camp Pendleton, California, then to Vietnam. Mr. Reese arrived in the Chu Lao Vietnam Station with the MAG-13 unit, where his duties were refueling all aircrafts with the JP-4 aircraft fuel. There were times he and the crew members were sent to different airstrips and refueled fuel bathers. After returning stateside to 29 Palms, California in 1971, he was discharged honorably as an E-4 corporal. Decorations, medals, ribbons, and badges include National Defense Service Medal, Vietnam Service Medal with 1 star, Vietnam Campaign Service Medal with device. Mr. Reese, on behalf of our grateful nation, we thank you for your service to our country.
Thank you. All right, 1, 2, 3.
Family, come on.
Yeah.
Yes, I want my cousin over there too.
Come on in, cousin. Come on, cousin.
What will you?
Sure, here's your baby.
Where do you live?
Pardon?
Where do you live?
I live in Berry Hill. It's right outside of Dalton.
Okay.
I am from the big city of Oklahoma.
Yes,
I
very
graduated
good.
there.
Did you say Mary Hill?
Pardon?
Did you say Mary Hill?
Yeah.
Don't look at this. No, it's okay. No, it's okay.
Get us, Sam?
All right, we ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm right here.
Yeah, she's easy to miss, though. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Thank you.
I didn't know anything about that, so my son got involved in it. He said, Dad, let's see if we can get you one of them. So I'm glad I got it. I'm real pleased. And I'm just proud to be. I've done my tour in Vietnam and come home live. So.
That's right.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, our next Cherokee Warrior Medal of Patriotism Award goes to a veteran of Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Iraq Freedom. This goes to Mr. Jason Walls. Joe Deere. Get Councilman Deere to come down, please. Mr. Walls enlisted in the Army in 1997. He finished training to become a signal support system specialist at Fort Gordon, Georgia. After 1 year and 6 months of active duty, he was honorably discharged in 1998. Mr. Walls returned to military service with the National Guard as an Infantry Scouts Field Artillery Combat Engineer. He served with the Company C 579th Engineer Battalion for 8 years. Mr. Walls, on a grateful nation, we thank you for your service to our country.
2, 3. You ready? Oh, 1, 2, 3, say cheers.
Yeah, my term of service was a good term, and what I really like to say, you, the Cherokee Nation, and the citizens of Oklahoma, you guys have been really good towards us vets, and I want to thank you all for your support. It means a lot, and definitely makes coming home a lot easier. So thank you guys.
Mr. Speaker, Council, that's all we have for tonight, but I want to say really quick while I've got the mic that if you got a chance to come out last week to the Veterans Appreciation Day, I want to say thank you to Secretary Crittenden, thank you to Barbara Hominy, everybody over there. They did a wonderful job, and it was an honorable ceremony that was very deserving for all those that were there to enjoy it, for all those that may have passed on before, and for those to come. It was something to be seen, and proud to be Cherokee and proud to live where we live today. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Unfinished business, none pending. We're getting ready to drop down to committee reports. Youth Council, if you choose to, you can be excused. We're getting ready to go into the business part of this, so we probably don't have no more than, I'd say, 15, 20 minutes left on this agenda. So if you want to stay, you can stay. If you want to get to bed early, then you can leave as well. So at this time, I want to invite our Cherokee Nation Business CEO, Mr. Chuck Garrett.
Thank you. I often have that effect. I don't know what that is. Nothing personal, I'm sure. Good evening.
And I didn't mean to time it that way. I should.
I think there were people that were relieved. Good evening, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of 7,500 hardworking men and women at Cherokee Nation Businesses, it's my honor to be here this evening to provide you this month's report. The detailed CNB financial report was provided to you earlier and summarized in the executive and finance report. So if you really want to get into some of those details, I will defer you to that. The financial highlights, however, on the revenue side, August was a strong month for CNB's top line, with revenue for the businesses exceeding budget by 12% and outpacing our prior year, August, by 17%. Year-to-date revenue through August is slightly ahead of our budgeted revenue level and 9% over the same period in FY18. Net income, August net income, came in 28% over our budgeted level and exceeded our prior year by 16%. On a year-to-date basis, our net income is 8% over our budget and 8% over the same period in FY18. Regarding our job statistics, CNB currently has a workforce of 7,582 employees. We are permitted to apply a Cherokee and Native American preference on 4,577 of those positions. 69.5% of these CNB employees are Cherokee citizens, and an additional 6.2% of these CNB employees are citizens of another tribal nation, for a total of 75.6 Native employment. A few other newsworthy items. Cherokee Nation businesses partnered with the Adair County Historical Association to preserve and promote some local history within the within the Adair County Courthouse. The collaborative effort provided 28 restored, enlarged, matted, and framed historical photographs from areas throughout Adair County, as well as 17 pieces of art to be displayed throughout the iconic courthouse building. CNB employees helped restore the photos, as well as provided professional framing for each piece. Also, since the last time I addressed you, CNB has hosted multiple job fairs within the 14 counties. In October, we hosted a job fair at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, specializing in our food and beverage hospitality positions, and that resulted in 37 filled positions. Earlier in the month, we had a job fair in Bartlesville for our properties in Ramona and South Coffeyville. And just today, we had another job fair at the Hard Rock Hotel Casino, which featured job needs in all of our departments. I'm told it was very well attended and marks our continued effort to reach out to prospects for employment. Mr. Speaker, that concludes my report, but happy to address any other issues or answer any questions you might have.
Do you have any questions for our CEO? I have one I've been asked to present to you.
Sure.
And it's a good thing. When our revenue allows, our employees at CNB, we present them with a turkey.
Yes.
This year, we're giving them an option, or there is an option there. Would you explain how we? And they asked me to ask. So
Yeah, no. I understand, and it's been a topic of considerable discussion. And I laugh, just because it has received a lot of attention. Let me explain some of the background. As you correctly point out, in the past, and it really hasn't been as tied to revenue. It's just been that we have done that as a tradition. We have provided turkeys to our employees that are located, in the Cherokee Nation. Last year, we had a very odd and unusual set of circumstances. The company from which we bought the turkeys through our provider, Cisco, had a turkey recall. And so suddenly we were faced with a health issue. The turkeys were recalled for being, exposed to some sort of bacteria. And so we were then in a position of trying to get the turkeys back. You can imagine the logistical issues involved. So that led to sort of an immediate meeting in which we said, let's take a look at this. Is that really what we want to do? Is it important that we physically hand a turkey to our employees? Or is the point that we want to make certain that every family's got a turkey, and so we're going to provide that financially? In the heat of the moment, especially when you're kind of confronted with a crisis like that, and it was a crisis. If we, didn't want to make our employees ill, we made the decision, said, gee, let's try a different route next year. And so we have tried it. I think we are getting some good feedback. How about that? So I think we're going to take a look at that. And obviously very interested in your feedback too. And I know hopefully the turkeys that were available to the council and administration, hopefully that handoff went well. It is, considerable logistical thing. So it's just a matter of how best to do it. To the punchline is this year, employees received an additional $20 in their compensation to provide for that turkey. At Christmas, our tradition has been to provide a $25 gift card. Gift cards can be a little tricky too because they, sprout legs from time to time, and it's just a tracking issue. But we're going to proceed with that this year, and we're going to revisit it, and I would appreciate any feedback you guys have on the turkeys and ways we can express our appreciation for our employees.
Really appreciate you explaining that. Very well put. I'm sure you'll get back to the constituents.
Yes, great. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we'll just blame Sean Slayton.
Well, that's what I meant. That was a short answer. That old CEO was, one parting thought, if I might. On my way over tonight from Catoosa, I received word from Judge Cross, the Pope County Quorum Court judge in Arkansas. He has issued a letter of support to the Cherokee Nation businesses for our casino application. So now we are the exclusive holder of letters of support from both the Quorum Court and the Quorum Court judge. So we're looking forward to November 18th when the application window closes, and look forward to working with the Racing Commission to receive that casino license.
Very good news.
Yes.
Yes. Good.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll just drop down to taking care of business. I think we can do the first 4 in total. Somebody make a motion.
Make a motion that we
These are all appointments that's come out of rules.
authorize 1 through 4
Yes.
on our new business. Put that in
Yes.
the form of a motion.
Second. Got a motion and second. Any discussion for these appointments? It's John Sparks, Shauna Baker, Christy Sturgill, and Roberta Gibson. So yes, Councilor Shamba?
To be added to a sponsor for Sean Baker.
Okay. Anybody else? We good? Got a motion and second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, Councilor Austin, you want to take number 5?
Certainly. Number 5 is a resolution authorizing the Cherokee Nation to incur indebtedness and authorizing the approval of a lease purchase agreement and limited waiver of sovereign immunity to Oklahoma State Bank. And I put that in the form of a motion.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Councilor Vasquez, you want to take number 6?
Sure. This is an act amending Title 44, Chapter 1, Section 6F of the Cherokee Nation Code, annotated relating to free and independent press for the Cherokee Nation. I move for its approval.
Got a motion?
Second.
And a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Councilor Deere, you want to take number 7?
This is the legislative act entitled the Cherokee Nation Motor Vehicle License and Tax Code Modification 2019. Put this in form of a motion.
2? Okay.
I will second that, and I want to be sure that council is aware there was an amended version handed out. That's the one we are approving.
Does everybody have that before them?
Yeah.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Any discussion? What we might do, though, is who's going to explain? Chief, you want to explain that real quick?
Certainly, Mr. Speaker. So the legislation that came out of the committee is the same in many respects as the substitute language. But I want to make clear that even though I think it's in the Cherokee Nation's national interest to ensure that our Cherokee students at the public schools that we fund have their rights respected, their rights to protected cultural activities such as wearing an eagle feather at a graduation. I think that's in our national interest. I also think it's in our national interest to work well with these schools as we have been. And so I think this substitute language leads from the position of we're going to work with schools that might need some guidance with respect to adhering to those protected activities that students can engage in at school. And certainly if there's an egregious situation, which we have not had because we've had a good relationship, but there's an egregious situation in which students' rights are abridged, the rights to express themselves culturally in an appropriate manner for a school setting, then we would look in future years as to whether the funding should be affected. But I think this gives my administration the marching orders to take a look at the schools and make sure that they are adhering with those rights, but to also lend a hand of cooperation to make sure that we help them. We don't simply say, you're wrong on this. We say, here's how we think you should do it, give them guidance. I think it'll continue to be a harmonious relationship, but I have heard enough over the years from constituents, from council members, that we ought to mean what we say when we say that the rights ought to be respected, and that this is a considerable amount of money that we transfer to the schools to support public education, which we do. That's the essence of it. This language, I think, is one, again, that leads with being cooperative and extending a hand of guidance. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Chief, and 10 is well taken. Okay? Have a motion set? Yes, Counselor?
I would like to be added as a sponsor to this.
Okay. Ms. Doyle. Okay. Motion and second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Counselor Dobbins, you want to take the next one? Be number 8.
Resolution authorizing Cherokee Nation Marshal Service to donate surplus specialized bicycles to Tahlequah Police Department. Put that in the form of a motion.
Got a motion?
Second.
And second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Counselor Taylor, take number 9.
This is an act amending Legislative Act 14-19, authorizing the comprehensive capital budget for fiscal year 2020, Mod 1, and declaring an emergency. I put that in the form of a motion.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Counselor Duncan, you want to take number 10?
Yes, this is a resolution authorizing the submission of a special grant application for the Administration on Aging Title VI Grant Part A and Part C.
Okay, wait a minute. We haven't added that yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do
Number 10, an act amending Legislative Act 15-19 authorizing the comprehensive operating budget for fiscal year 2020 Mod 2 and declaring an emergency.
Second.
Got a motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Now I'll need a motion to add this to the agenda. Number 11.
Make a motion that we add number 11 out of community service.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, number 11. Counselor Shambaugh, you want to take that?
This is a resolution authorizing the submission of a special grant application for the Administration of Aging Title Grant 6, Grant Part A and Part C, and I put that in form of a motion.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. That concludes our business items. Announcements to my right. Committee meetings, community meetings. Yes, Councilor Coates.
Well, I'll just reiterate what the chief stated earlier, is that there are at-large community meetings in Phoenix and in Tucson this weekend, so everybody in Arizona come and join the chief and Councilor Shaw and I and lots of people from the Cherokee Nation.
Okay, you, Councilor Crittenden.
All right, I'm excited. Kane and I are having a community meeting Thursday night, 6 o'clock, Stillwell High School cafeteria. Come on out and visit with us, and the chief, deputy chief, and everybody's invited. So hope to see you.
Okay, anybody else to lay out? Councilor No Fire?
Yeah, we have a community meeting November 19th, Tuesday at 5:30. Everybody come out. We're having door prizes, live music. It'll be a great time, and all the counselors, we'd love to have you there, and looking forward for a good time with all of our constituents.
Are you guys serving food?
Oh yeah, we'll be serving food.
Okay.
Thanksgiving dinner is going to be there that night.
Okay,
So.
all right. Just making sure. Anybody else?
Yes, we got a community meeting December 9th at Bellefonte. Everyone's invited. If y'all come on out if you want to. Be a good time.
Thank you. Okay, that completes our November council meeting. Everybody drive safe. Youth Council, it was enjoy to hear you guys present who you are, and wish you all luck in school. If you're having problems, come, and we've got good tutors here on the council that'll help you out. So with that, I say I need a motion to Agiosi.
Motion.